Are you guys ready for another action figure review? Here we go. Let the darkness come to light. Alright, what's up everyone? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber guys, and we are back at it again with a series review. That's right. As much as you guys know, you know how much I love Spawn. And right now, actually it's the 25th year of Spawn. 25 years since the first line came out, Series 1. As you guys see right here, right in front of us, I'm doing kind of a re-review of all these Spawn figures. If you guys have been watching my channel, then you guys know that I do a lot of Spawn reviews. I do a lot of McFarlane reviews. I do a lot of horror reviews, Marvel Legends, Marvel Select. The list goes on, but I do a lot of Spawn reviews. A lot of action figure reviewers don't do a lot of Spawn reviews because they're older action figures, and people like to review a lot of the new stuff, which I do also, but I also like to pay tribute to a lot of these Spawn figures that have never gotten a proper action figure review. Now, all these figures right here are from Series 1. Behind them is the comic books that came with them. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know I've been doing a lot more comic book reviews, because really that's where it all started. I love comic books. I started collecting comic books all over again. I have a lot of cool comic book hauls coming up for you guys, and a lot of cool horror hauls coming to you guys as well. And I figure, you know, Spawn is kind of synonymous with horror, you know, so I've been doing a lot of Spawn reviews, and so I figure, being that it's 25 years later, I would be doing Spawn 25th anniversary of this Series 1 lineup. As you guys see, I'm not going to go through the articulation. If you guys want to see individual reviews of these figures, I've done reviews for all these figures, you know, the Spawn and the Clown. The Trimmer, Violator, you know, Overkill was some of my first reviews, and then Medieval Spawn, I later did him not too long ago, even though this Medieval Spawn, he was like one of my first action figures that I ever had as a kid. And I never had this Violator as a kid. I have him now as an adult. Same thing with this Clown over here. But I did have the original Spawn, the Trimmers, and the Overkill, and the Medieval Spawn as well. So we're going to do kind of like a re-review, guys. And when I review these figures, I didn't really take a look at the comic books. So this came with Spawn, the very first Spawn right here. And so I figured we'd take just a quick glimpse at some of these comic books. Just kind of flick through it, as you know, I've been doing a lot of comic book reviews. And I figure, you know, we go through this comic book. And there's not much dialogue in here anyways. This is kind of the beginning of Spawn, when Spawn first began. This is when him in the army, and this is kind of the origins of Spawn. Each comic book has the origin of the figure that comes along with the figure. Did I make any sense? I think you guys understood where I was coming from. But here's Al Simmons going to hell, and then meeting Melboja. And then there is Spawn. And I love some of these images, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with these comic books. I'm thinking about, like, tearing out some of these images and, like, you know, what do you call it? Laminating them and maybe, like, hanging them on my wall or what have you. But, yeah, some of these images are just absolutely beautiful. So there is Spawn right there. We'll take a look at Clown right here. So essentially this is kind of like a re-review of Series 1. I'll show you a little bit of the action figures in a minute, but I'm just going to go through these comic books, because like I said, when I reviewed a lot of these figures, I didn't bother looking at the comic books. So this is kind of really where it all started, in the comic books right here. And just show you some of the amazing artwork. It's maybe not as good as it was in the original comic books, you know, where it started off as, because this came with an action figure, so I guess the quality kind of went down a little bit, but it's still great artwork, and it still pops, so I'm not mad at all. And this is kind of the story of Spawn, where he meets Clown, and yeah, he's kind of transforming into Violator, and the artwork is amazing too, man. This is kind of where this is where it all started, man. You know, with the comic books, and that's one of the main reasons why I've been doing a lot of comic book reviews as well. Is just kind of the origin of all these action figures that we collect, man. I mean, you know, what's the point of being an action figure reviewer if you guys don't know, you know, where it all started from? A lot of people, you know, a lot of kids nowadays, they don't do comic books anymore because, you know, especially kids like around 18, 19, or even younger, you know, under 18, don't really appreciate possessions anymore. You know, it's kind of like everything is digital nowadays. Everything is on your iPad. So nobody collects anything anymore. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks. You know, that kids, they don't know anything about possessions nowadays. They don't collect anything. You know, when I first started collecting, now just to go off topic real quick, guys, you know, when I first started collecting things, they weren't actually action figures. Well, actually, I first started collecting trading cards. You know, back in the day in the 90s, I would collect, of course, Marvel trading cards. Basketball trading cards was the big thing back in the 90s. And then later on, you know, I started collecting currency. I know that sounds weird, doesn't it? Money, coin collections, money, paper money, old paper money. And I am a collector, you know, not only of action figures, but I collect a lot of things, man. Not only action figures, but comic books. Currency, I'm still collecting trading cards. And I am an artist, so I paint. Not as much as I used to, not as much as I would like to. But also I appreciate art as well. So I'm trying to collect art as well, buy, trade, sell art. Same thing with I'm doing with action figures and comic books is I'm buying and selling and trading. Some of these images too are are somewhat the same that I showed you. And I think the Spawn and, no, excuse me, the Clown and Violator, I think was pretty much the same, same comic book because they're the same person. Just a few different pages. So here's Tremor. So yeah, I just went off topic real quick, guys, and if you're still here with me listening to me, then thanks. I have a tendency of doing that. But a lot of people want to know what I do and, you know, and how I do it and how I'm able to do all these action figure reviews and afford all this crap is because, yeah, I do buy, sell, and trade all the time. And I love Tremor. Tremor is one of my favorite figures, action figures, characters. This is one of my favorite action figures still. You know, even though it's completely dated, I still love the action figure. And I brought out the variants too. There's the green, and then there's the brown version of Tremor. And then after we get finished looking through these comic books real quick, I'll just go through the character, the action figures themselves, and just show you a quick glimpse. Because I'm not going to go through the whole, you know, review. Because like I said, if you want to see a review of the figure, like I said, I've already done a review of the figure. So this is kind of re-review, and then a review of this comic book. And here's Medieval. Oh no, it's going into Medieval Spawn, excuse me. And there's Violator. So here's Medieval Spawn. Did I miss a page? No, that was it. So here's Medieval Spawn. Medieval Spawn also was one of my favorite action figures growing up to play with when I was a little kid. And I still love this series one. I still think it's an awesome series. And here's a continuation from the Medieval Spawn. There's the Violator. Awesome artwork. This is what I mean about kind of ripping this off the page, off the book, and kind of framing it. I would love to do that. And I love the Medieval. You know, one thing I've said this many times, guys, in doing Spawn. Look at that beautiful image. That's what I mean, guys. Like taking this image and like laminating it and just framing it and putting it on your wall would be awesome. But one thing I was going to say is, it sucks that they've only made like one Spawn movie and they have all these cool characters and all these stories. Not only medieval Spawn, but the Curse of the Spawn and all these amazing, amazing stories, man. And Youngblood. I mean, even a lot of the Image characters as well. There's, look at that. There's Overkill. Even some of the Image characters, man, like Savage Dragon and Shadowhawk, are all just sitting there, like, waiting for a movie to be made. And, I would love to see a movie of Wildcats or Youngblood. If you guys are fans of Image like I am, I'm not only a fan of Spawn, but I'm a fan of Image as well. They have all these cool characters, man, that they haven't even touched yet. I mean, nobody's touching a Wildcats movie or a Youngblood movie, or where Savage Dragon. I would love to see a Savage Dragon movie, I would love to see more Spawn movies, man. More Tales of Spawn. I would love to see, Curse of the Spawn movie told in medieval times. I think that would be really, 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 really awesome. Overkill. And yeah, I think it's about time, man. They need to do, I would love to see Skull Splitter and medieval Spawn battle it out. And, yeah, man. Awesome artwork. So let's take a look at Series 1. So this is, yeah, you can say I've been doing a lot of double reviews too, like of action figures and comic books all in the same video. Just to kind of, mix it up a little bit because it's been done so many times. So here's the man that started it all. The very, very first Spawn figure. Amazing. I'm not even going to go through the articulation. I'm not even going to touch him. I'm just going to let you look at him. If you want to see a full review, like I said, I've done a review of all these figures. This clown, I will, because I love this clown. I still love this clown. He's a little dusty because he's been sitting on the shelf. But yeah, he's one of my favorite, one of the best gimmicks of all time. Right there. Right there. That's him turning into the Violator, the head of the Violator. One of my favorite figures in my entire collection. I love this little gimmick. One of the best gimmicks ever in the Spawn series. And of course, Tremor. I love Tremor. And if you guys know about this Tremor figure, then boom, as he extends right there, his arm extends. Very, very awesome figure. This Violator right here, of course, he's a bendable Violator. I can't believe I still have this guy. And yeah, he's a bendable Violator, so you can bend him any which way, which I think that was a good move that they went that way, for this Violator. He has articulated jaw, which moves up and down by his horn right there. Then there's the alternate version of Tremor right here, the brown version. Then you have the medieval Spawn right here from Series 1. Chains are falling off. Still love that shield, that Spawn logo shield. Really, really awesome. His shield is falling off. I used to have so much fun playing with this guy back in the day. There was medieval Spawn. His leg is a little bit loose too, which kind of sucks. So I need to do something about that. And then Overkill. They did so many versions of this Overkill, but he's definitely a classic. And if you don't know what his gimmick is, it's that right there. His head pops off. His head fires at you. So yeah, I had so much fun playing with this guy too. He's one of my favorite figures to play with back in the day. So yeah, I really, really love this Overkill, guys. Okay, so there was my little series and review, guys. 25 years later. I think my math is correct. If it's wrong, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it's 25 years later. 94, this series came out. So yeah, let's do the math. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. So was a 19 plus 6, 25, which is 25. Yeah, so my math is correct. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little re-review of Spawn Series 1. One of my favorite series from the entire Spawn lineup. So, we'll leave it at that, guys. So, if you want to see some more cool Spawn reviews, more McFarlane reviews, more horror reviews, stay tuned for this month in October, 31 days of Halloween. I'm going to be doing a lot more awesome reviews. So, Stay tuned, guys. If you like this review, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to receive more cool, awesome reviews like this. And there you guys have it. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!